Here we are in Clarkson, New York, on the shores of Lake Ontario for Lumberjack competition at Good Neighbor Days. We're just about ready to wrap things up. But before the show got started, we had a chance to talk to Paul Feniger about his newfound hobby.
Well, I'm making bow saw blades for competition. And basically, I got started in this a couple years back. I was having a hard time getting good gear just because there's only a couple saw filers and they're quite busy. So I started tinkering around, trying to figure out how to make one of these bow saw blades, which is very finicky work. And you know, I'd make a blade, take me a couple weeks farting around, and I'd put it in a block of wood, it wouldn't survive, and I'd throw it on the bench and come back a week later and start all over again. So after enough of that, I contacted a crosscut saw filer, Jim Taylor from California, and he gave me the basic principles of saw filing, what to look for in your teeth, your rakers, and you know, basically how he files stuff. And I took that, and that helped out quite a bit, but I was still missing some stuff on the tempering. And J.P. Mercier, which is probably one of the best saw filers in the world, I would say, I asked him if he could show me a couple things on tempering and what I'm doing wrong with my bow saw blades. And he was more than gracious to take me into his home this past winter and show me exactly how I need to temper my teeth and how I should be filing my teeth, and what the raker should actually look like in regards to the types of woods that we saw. So from that point, it was a huge improvement on the products that I've been making as of late.
And thanks to Paul Feniger for doing that little interview with us and sharing a little bit of insight on manufacturing of bow saw blades, single buck blades. Now, I know they're difficult to get. Rod, you've had some struggles in the past finding some good blades. Maybe you'll be purchasing off Paul Feniger in the future.
A lot of the competitors complain that they can't get the blades fast. There's just such a demand right now on the 2 or 3 guys that make them. They are hard to get a hold of. We have a guy in the East, Bill Hooper. He's a phenomenal manufacturer of crosscut and bucksaw blades. Hasn't been doing it for a while, so he showed me all the technique here a few years ago. Maybe I should get back at it. Looks like there's a bit of a market for bucksaw blades.
Absolutely. This first heat, we got Kevin Moynihan taking on Matt Marks. It's one cut, only one cut of 10 inches round. These guys are going to do it in real quick work here. And Kevin Moynihan breaks off his cookie, but still clocks in a time at 6.22. Good job. As long as you finish your cut, you cut all the wood that's there.
Stumpy showing really great technique here in the bow saw. He's a strong man, looking him down through to the end. You'll see that his block actually breaks when he gets close to the end, but he keeps right on sawing. They just have to make a complete cut. It doesn't have to be a full cookie, so he's in. He's got a good time.
Going to be a tough time to beat. 6.22. Next heat, Matt Karp taking on Chris Henning. Now, this is another event where I wish they'd do 2 cuts, maybe even 3 cuts. Certainly these guys could sprint their way through 12, maybe even 20 seconds of sawing.
Yeah, in New Brunswick, we always do 2 cuts in a row, of course, in the bow saw. It is such a fast event. These guys have great blades. They're good sawyers. Matt Karp, I saw him drive in here with his family in tow, so he's got to look after the family, plus make a good bucksaw cut.
Another photo finish. My goodness, it doesn't get any closer than that. Matt Karp, nice smooth style. Again, a similar thing happens to him as it did for Stumpy. It breaks off at the end here, but he either sawed it off or broke it off.
That's right, saws right through it, so he gets a good time. Again, with the second cut, you'd be able to see these guys, the fellas that have really good technique to make that second start and get down through the wood fast.
6.22, still a time to beat. Karp at a 6.55, Henning at a 6.33. Next heat, Mike Coors taking on Chris Sikora. 2 New York State guys as well, and both accomplished bow sawyers. 2
different builds. Look how low to the ground Chris is, and of course Mike's standing up nice and tall. He's actually got great form in the bow saw. Look at him fly through that wood.
Another photo finish, and Mike Coors looks like just edges out Chris Sikora by 1/100th of a second. He's got a 6.13 edging out Chris Sikora, but he had a fantastic pace going on there.
Dave Engasser, Virgil, New York, line mechanic for New York State Electric and Gas. Paul Feniger, hometown Scottsville, New York, and I am in charge of fleet maintenance for Monroe Community College.
Well, here it is, number 1, number 2 on our leaderboard. Dave Engasser, Paul Feniger, 2 guys, realistically, the only 2 guys to win this competition. Feniger's going to try and take down Engasser in the bow saw right now.
Big time. He'll have his best blade in the bow saw frame. Dave Engasser, he's likely got his best blade, whatever it was in his block. But look at the go. Look at the pace they have in the bow saw.
6.22 is the time to beat right now. Feniger takes out Engasser and wins the bow saw event. pretty strong field of competitors here, but we talked to you earlier about your bow saw blades, and just tell me how it went.
Oh, it went quite well. I won the bow saw by a little over a half a second, so I was pretty happy with that.
A half a second in that size wood is a large margin.
That is huge, yes, quite large.
Well, there it is with the overall standings at stake in the bow saw. Paul Feniger trying to claw his way back into the race, just edging out Dave Van Gasser by a half a second.